Hi, and thank you for joining us for this week's Crafternoon. I'm Jacqueline Luna, your Adult Services Librarian, and today we'll be making a knotted coaster. If you weren't able to pick up a kit, all you'll need is a length of rope about 8 feet long, a hot glue gun, 5 push pins, and a piece of cardboard. Let's get started. All right, so to get started, you're going to get a 4-inch circle, and you're going to use that to make your outline to make your guides. So go ahead and just find that, and you'll trace it with a pencil, remove that. And then, if you're using 2 cardboard things, you'll want to just make sure they're nicely underneath each other. So then you're going to grab your 5 push pins, and you're going to make the outline of a star on here. So these are going to be your guides for your 5 loops of your Turkish knot. So you're just going to want to, generally like a star. They don't have to be perfect. And you can see I'm going to mess around with mine a little bit once I've got them set. The other thing that's important is you do want to try and make sure those push pins go through both levels of cardboard. That'll keep those push pins in place and keep them nice and secure. If you just use one piece of cardboard, they may pop out as you're going. Again, that's totally okay, but that does just make it a little bit harder. Okay, so now we're going to grab our rope and we're going to start our process. So we've put a little piece of tape around one end of the rope. And now we're going to find the opposite end, the untaped end, and we're going to use that as our starting point. So you're going to lay that just like so. Let me move this down for you. And we're going to loop around our top point of our star, and then loop back down, loop over that bottom part, back around. You're going to go over that, around, and around. Now we're going to start creating our knot. So we're going to go under our little tail end here. And we're going to go and find our very end, our taped end, and we're going to go under and pull all the way through. Now it really helps when you're doing this to hold down the rest of your knot, especially as you're going, so that you don't pull the rest of your things out of place. So really as you go through, you're going to be doing like an under, over. So you see we have the next place we're going to go over in a second here. And then we're going to go over that part, and then you'll see the next piece we want to go under. So keeping with that under, over, so again, find your edge, pull that through, hold the rest of it in place so you don't undo everything you're doing. And this is all patience right now. This is going to take a little bit of time. And then we're over, we're going to loop through and around again. And we're going to do another where we're going to hold that in place, and then we're going to go under again and pull that through carefully as we go. And again, like I said, it really, really helps to hold everything down as you're going. All right, so now you've completed your first star. We've gone over, under, and now we're going to keep following this around by going on the inside of our star again, or our Turkish knot. Okay, so we're going to keep going and we're going to follow around on the inside. So same thing, under here, pull through, hold it in place, and keep pulling. You're pulling a lot through at the beginning parts, but as you go, you'll be pulling less and less. All right, pull that in place, keep it close to the edge of your star and your Turkish knot, and then you're going to keep following around as you go, pulling in place. And again, just pull the ropes here. You don't want to pull it too taut so the knots come together too quickly. You want to make sure you're keeping them right next to each other. All right, keep following through. As you can see, very good to hold down. And again, if you're noticing at some point in here that it's not following right, it's that you've missed a loop somewhere, that's okay. Just undo it and start over. As you can see, I'm going to constantly be adjusting, especially this first few. Oops. As we go, let me fix that again. Here we go. Pull that around because we don't want to, as you can see, let me get that in just a second. Pull that through. And like I said, you want to make sure you have all of your second layer as close to your first layer as possible. Okay. There we go. All right, so as you can see, that happens, oops, I just did it again, as it happens a little frequently as you start going, but again, patience and just keep on going, adjust as you go each time you pull your cord through, and There we go. Perfect. So we are going to keep going around and around here. All right, so as you can see, as you're getting a little bit closer and you've gotten more and more loops on here, it can get a little bit harder to do using your guides. So you can pull those off and just hold the shape in your hand if you feel comfortable with doing that. It's just another way to work. Let me get this out of the way here. And I'm just pulling it through and going as I was going. And then you want to go until you run out of rope. So hopefully you have enough for 4 loops all the way around. If not, 3 is good. You just want to make sure you are keeping that nice and tight as you're going. Good, and now you can see my end is kind of almost running out. It's going to be kind of hard for me to keep going, so I think after another loop, I think we're pretty good here. Maybe one more. Let's see. So yeah, just keep pushing through until you get to the end, and then in a minute here we're going to use a little hot glue to secure our pieces in place. You can see just that looks great. Get that out of the way, and there we have it. So now we're going to grab our hot glue and get going. Okay, so once we've got our hot glue on, we're going to want to take off that tape on the end here. And if that's a little difficult, go ahead and just cut off the taped piece if you have enough room to do that. Now we're going to use our hot glue to just secure those little loose ends. So we'll secure this end right here, and we'll go down and secure this end here. Now this step is fully optional. Your coaster will stay in place the whole time, but you can also do what I'm doing here and secure a couple of the ends around as you're going. If it's not staying secure, it's probably because one of the knots didn't work. So you can always take this whole thing apart and start over. I'll tell you that. I've done that many times. So once you've got that glue on there and secure, you are all set and you have a wonderful coaster to enjoy. Thanks for joining us today.